Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Chris-Beth Cowie, and I'm the founder of Empowered for X and the host of BizGrams. Each day, I have the privilege of bringing to you dynamic entrepreneurs, so you get an opportunity to hear their stories, be inspired, and ultimately, if possible, support them along their journey. I'm super excited today because we have Bernadette Hamilton-Reid from Sankofa Afrikan Gifts. Yes. So Bernadette, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Chris-Beth. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
I am wonderful and blessed, feeling great. The sun is out. You know, we had some snow last week, which was really crazy. I just said, oh, Canada, you know.
Oh my goodness, only in Canada, you're right.
Yes, but I'm super excited to have you on this show today, Bernadette. So tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. How did you get started along this journey?
All right, well, thank you for the opportunity to be on your show. It's exciting and to be able to share. So first off, I give homage to my ancestors from the motherland of Africa. I am a 7th generation Nova Scotian. We've been able to trace our family background to Sierra Leone as part of the Black Loyalists that came over in 1783. So it's very important history. So I started my journey in entrepreneurship almost 25, 30 years ago. This business in particular, Sankofa Afrikan Gifts, was born out of the necessity to be able to provide artifacts and books and dolls for my children, my firstborn, to show them the beauty of our culture, our African culture. It was very hard to find Black dolls, Black books, anything that depicted our rich African history. So I started buying stuff for myself, for my children. And of course, when you go to mummy dates and child play dates, everybody say, where'd you get that? And then, you know, I searched it on the internet. I found it, I bought it, because I wanted my children to have, other than Eurocentric products, I wanted them to have products that looked and represented them. So from that, people said, well, can you order me one next time? Can you order me? Can you order me? So it just grew and grew. And then, you know, I said, you know what, I'm ordering enough product now. I should launch this as a business. Got involved with some business mentoring programs through the Center for Entrepreneurship, Education and Development here in Nova Scotia, Halifax. And you know, the rest is history. I just continue to add more products as the girls grew older. So I have 2 daughters, Alyson and Samantha. They're now 28 and 29. So it's been a blessing. I just started adding more products. I had the pleasure of going to Ghana, West Africa in 2003 with a group of African Nova Scotians to connect to the motherland, to do some community humanitarian services. So I met up with some women in Bogatanga making shea butter and making drums and baskets. So I started importing products from Ghana and being able to support widows and orphans ministries and stuff. So it's been really exciting and being able to give back. So now I have lots of different products. The earrings that I wear, you know, come from Ghana, West Africa. You know, the clothing, everything that I depict is always of me and of the motherland and whoever I can source products from to be authentic to our culture.
Hey, that is such a powerful story, and I love the, you know, being able to trace your history, right? Where, yes, you know, where you came from. I can say in my own journey, I'm still on that discovery pathway. I had the opportunity of going to Uganda back in 2013, and they were like, "You're Ugandan," and
when they see you, right? They see the facial features. They claim you.
Yes, yes. But you know, I have some friends from Ghana. They're like, "You're Ghanaian," so yeah. I know I belong, and my heritage is from Africa. And I am very appreciative that the work that you're doing to bring that knowledge to the Canadian economy, you know, for representation, for an understanding that our existence was in existence before slavery. Oftentimes the narrative we get is often about this dark part of history, but it's so rich and vibrant, the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about Sankofa Afrikan Gifts. And, you know, you're located out in Halifax. What are some of the types of products that you know, you're working on bringing to the marketplace, and how you're doing so?
So I should have my Sankofa bird in front of me because that's my symbol. But so the Sankofa African bird also has history. It's a bird with its face turning backwards, remembering about the past, but it's also flying forward into our present, while carrying an egg, which is the birth of the futures that we have to remember. So it encompasses all of our history. So that's what I wanted to bring to Nova Scotia, to Halifax. I wanted to bring products. So bringing those products in, you know, a struggle with bringing them in, but just bringing the people being able to wear African clothing. As you can see in my background, there's dresses, there's shirts, you know, being able to celebrate, especially during African Heritage Month, that we can come out and wear our clothing and be proud about it. Myself, I wear it every day. And I have a lot of colleagues that wear it every day because we want to hold true to our history. So the challenge was still trying to get it into stores where they see that the critical mass of the Black economic dollar does have some value. Like at Christmas time, I would always have to say, Walmart, can you bring in more than 5 Black Barbie dolls? You know, as soon as somebody hears that they have them, they're boom, you're at the store, they're sold out the next day, right?
Yes.
So that's important for them to know that we have products that we would like to see in your stores, and we have really authentic products, and we can source stuff so easily now. You can send money back to the motherland through Western Union, so you can pay the artisans right up front, so they're not out of pocket money also. So you're able to give back very quickly to get those products here.
Yeah, I love the circle too, right? So especially the artisans that you're working with in Africa, you know, being able to help them build a sustainable livelihood and bring their culture to this part of the world, you know, the gifts that they have to this part of the world as well. So along your entrepreneurial journey, what are some of the challenges that you've experienced and the lessons that you've learned through this, or maybe it's something that you're currently going through and the lesson that you're learning?
The challenges are always being able to source products. You know, even today they have trade shows that come to our exhibition parks. You know, because we have a lot of gift stores. We're a touristy community also. We have a lot of waterfront. You know, we have the infamous Peggy's Cove. We have our Black Cultural Center, the Black Loyalist Center. So a lot of vendors come here, stores come here and hold craft shows. But whenever I go to them, there's never any Black product. Like there's not even a Black greeting card, you know, that would be in stores. There's no Black keychains. There's no African symbolism. So it's still very hard to source product. A lot of times I'll source products such as you can see the cloth in the background from Ghana. And fortunately, I've been able to hire sewers here to do some of the sewing, which is great too. Because again, we're growing our economy, getting women that may be at home working or taking care of their children that are able to produce things. So the challenge still remains to find good quality children's books that talk about our history. And again, as you said, Chris-Beth, we didn't start with slavery. We started from kings and queens. And our children need to know that we started from richness, and we want to continue to be in richness, which we can, because Africa, the continent, has so many countries that are rich in minerals and resources that belong to us for us to benefit from. Not so much the Western world, but for, you know, the Africans that were there, that are the first people to benefit. So that's what I'm trying to bring back, is that we need to use our own resources and our own people that have things and bring those here and, you know, open up the world to them. The internet is worldwide now, so it doesn't matter where you're at, you can sell to anybody. So I really want to make connection with many other countries and see what products we can integrate here into Halifax. So again, the challenge is still getting products. The challenge will always be trying to convince the big box stores or even corner stores that our products have value, and even try them for a corner of your shelf. I understand, talking to many manufacturers and store owners, that every square footage in their store has to yield a profit. So I understand that, but if we can't get in the store to try, then you'll never know if you're going to yield the profit. So the ongoing conversation continues about giving a corner shelf a month, 6-month trial. You know, give us a try. There's many Africans that have come here as immigrants that make beautiful food. I mean, I love all the ethnic food that I'm able to eat and try. You know, when I go to Toronto to visit my daughter, you go on the street, you can have any country food that you want. We don't have that luxury here in Halifax. You know, you really don't have the ethnic food. So there's a lot of people that have been cooking in their kitchens now. So trying to get them to be licensed and get their food handlers so they can get their foods on the shelf, because a lot of immigrants would love to have the food, would love to have the akara, love to have inkara, different things they would love to have from their homelands, right? So we need to encourage that. So the lessons I've learned is to, you know, be out there networking all the time. You know, even though you may be the one person in the crowd, we need to have our voices heard. So like I said, I belong to Chamber of Commerce, and I'm always on the calls. We know we meet once a week, and I always have to bring up about the Black issues. What about Black business? We shouldn't in 2021 have to ask about our businesses. It should be on everybody's mouth, especially in the light of George Floyd, God rest his soul. You know, his anniversary was last week. Black Lives Matter, which started way back in 2012. we still shouldn't be talking about Black issues in silos. We should be a part of the general makeup of business and the economic development of all countries, of all cities. And we're still not a part of that conversation. So it's still, the lessons are to make sure that you, even if you're just the ones, to continue to talk about the resiliency of our people and the great products that we have to offer and services. Because I know there's a lot of bookkeepers, there's a lot of service people out there, human resource consultants. We have we have never had as many educated people in such a time as this. As PhDs coming out, people with master's degrees. So we have lots of resources to share with the general population.
Yeah, everything that you just said, I love, and I definitely believe in that advocacy. You talk about, even if you're that one voice, being at that table to represent, a people or organizations. But you're so right. At this point, 2020, with what has happened over the past couple of years, the Black economy and the Black people should not be a thing off to the side. It needs to be at the forefront of our policy making and decision making at all levels of government, because you shared about your history, 7 generation, right? And oftentimes people are like, oh, where did you come from? And you're like, I come from Canada in some context, right? Like yes. Myself, I'm an immigrant. I came from Trinidad and Tobago, but you're like, no, generation upon generation, that means my people have contributed to this land and yes. we're not being seen or heard. And that is not right, right? And I am definitely with you. And I love the fact that you continue to be an advocate and an activist in many ways in terms of the things that you're doing to contribute to the Canadian economy and for the Black people here. So tell us, what is something that you're most proud about on your entrepreneurial journey, or most proud about, greatest accomplishment that you'd love to share with us here today?
Well, as a mother, of course, we first have to say we're most proud of our children, right? Although that's not my entrepreneurial journey, but I do give on my children, Alyson and Samantha. And Alyson's my oldest, going to make me a grandmother in September. Hey. All goes well. We praise God for that. So what's most proud is that I'm still here. Our saying is, we're still here, we're still standing. So after 25 years, even though it's been, I really call it a labor of love. Canada Revenue Agency calls it a hobby, not a business, because it doesn't yield the profit that they expect it to yield. But for me, my success on this entrepreneurial journey is that I'm still here. I'm still able to provide Afrocentric product to my own people, plus my allies and kinship people that I really want to share the knowledge with them. I'll often be at pop-up shops and a white couple will come up to me. Is it okay if I buy a Black Lives Matter and wear it? And that gives me the chance to give them education. So then I'm able to talk to them about, Black Lives Matter movement. We need our allies. We cannot do this alone. So if you're willing to wear the shirt and stand strong by it and not use it for capitalism or for Eurocentrism or whatever, that you're willing to use it and say, I support what our Black brothers and sisters are going through because of the atrocities of my ancestors. So you have to own it, get rid of your white supremacy, your white privilege, and know that we are where we're at because of some things that happened in the past. And I find it so empowering when the allies come and they want to know about the history.